My previous video was about the horrifying truth behind the fairy tale Hansel and Gretel. You will find the link in the description box below. I'm your host Z and welcome to Watchlist by Miss C. Was Bryan stalking his victims? Police tracked the cell phone records of Bryan and they found that at least 12 times prior to November 13th, the day of murder, his phone was in the area of residence, that is, around the Idaho murder house. Please excuse the background noise, I'm in my car right now. So, that means he definitely stalked the students and this murder was premeditated, and that's why he's being charged with first-degree murder. And if you guys remember, it was told that Kaylee also mentioned that she was being stalked. Maybe she noticed this Bryan guy stalking them and she would have thought that she's the target of this stalker. But it's still not confirmed that whether Bryan contacted any of his victims before or not, and if there's any direct connection of him with any of his victims. It was also said that Bryan was present at the bar where Kaylee and Maddie went hours before their murders. And Bryan was thrown out of that bar because of his misbehavior. No clue if this rumor is true or not, but Bryan definitely was a case of incel. Incel is a group that hates women. In it, the men refer to themselves as Jads and the women as Stacies. And they are keen to take revenge on someone who has humiliated them. Bryan's ex-college mates told that he was an awkward guy. Girls made fun of him, called him creep and whatnot. And he wasn't an outgoing kinda person. So, my theory is, what if Bryan was actually stalking Kaylee and Maddie? And what if the bar incident is also true? And Bryan felt humiliated because of the girls as he was thrown out, and this enraged him so much that he decided to kill them, and Xana and Ethan were just collateral damage. I'm saying this since day one that Xana and Ethan were collateral damage, present in the wrong place at the wrong time. So much what and ifs, but no idea why the hell exactly Bryan, the sick-minded, did this. Another big question is if Bryan did all this alone or with an accomplice. This question emerged when police arrested Bryan, and one of the first things he asked was, "If someone else is arrested?" And the police officer answered, "No!" Maybe Bryan was just confirming if his partner, if there is any, was also arrested or not. So now police are looking for any possible accomplice Bryan had. This case is getting twisted day by day. The white Hyundai Elantra is of course found from Bryan's home, but the murder weapon is still to be found. DNA of Bryan was found on the leather knife sheath which laid on the bed of one of the victims. Did the surviving roommate see Bryan at the night of the murders? The surviving roommate heard crying and opened the door and saw a figure clad in black clothing and a mask that covered the person's mouth and nose walking towards her. She described the figure as 5'10" or taller, male, not very muscular but athletically built with bushy eyebrows. The male walked past her as she stood in a frozen shock phase. The male walked towards the backsliding glass door and she locked herself in her room. Many people are questioning that why the surviving roommate didn't do anything. Why she waited for so many hours for the bodies to be found. People are asking questions. Some are against her that why she waited for so long, while many are supporting her. One user commented, "By seeing masked man, a face mask is still fairly common, but probably felt out of place and scary in the dark. She may have wondered if he was with one of the girls. The whole thing is odd, and maybe we will hear more in court. I can't imagine that she heard enough to think he was killing everyone in the house. She locked her door, maybe listened for a while, things quieted down, and she eventually fell asleep. Seems like she would have texted other roomies, and maybe she did and thought they were sleeping. Such a horrifying scene. So, was Brian being overconfident and left the girl even though she saw him? Or was he just so tired of killing four people and left? Because the surviving roommate told the authorities about Brian's description and that's how he was caught. So, yeah, we can say that Brian was being overconfident. First, the police found his car, and when they met him, they already knew that his body matches the description given by the surviving roommate. So, hurrah for the roommate's courage and boo for the sick minded Bryan. Subscribe to my channel to know more about this case and also hit the bell icon. Thank you.